Far to the east, beyond the devil-haunted towers of Zamora and the wind-tossed waves of the Vilayet Sea, lies the vast empire of Kitai.
We've opened everything up. You know, the play fields are larger, the choice of the alternate advancement systems, the choices the players will have to make in terms of the factions. This isn't a linear progression for players. They're going to have a lot of very meaningful choices that they're going to have to make in their gameplay. Which faction do they align themselves to? Which faction do they start with? Which route do they take through their alternate advancement trees? What areas of the game do they explore? So it's really, I think, the biggest difference for players will be that choice that they'll have in how they choose to approach the content in Rise of the Godslayer.
And will players be able to experience all choices, or will there be things that you have to choose either or?
In certain cases, there'll be either or. Like, for example, we've talked before about the mounts, and the players will have to choose between keeping the tiger as a combat pet or changing it into a mount. You know, they'll have those choices that will be, you know, that will set something for them. But in terms of the factions, the players, their choices will make effect. So when they befriend a faction, they'll then be making an enemy of another faction. But over time, if they really want to go through and discover everything, they can become traitorous to that faction and then, you know, try and align themselves back friendly with the ones that were previously their enemies. So for the completist players, for the players that want to experience absolutely everything, yes, they'll be able to go through and kind of go through all the faction storylines if they want to. Kitai is kind of, it's a great backdrop for allowing us to create a lot more visual diversity for the player. It's a very, you know, the Asian theme allows us to create a very interesting backdrop for the players. And it's a great storytelling device because, you know, Robert E. Howard's Conan world was very morally ambiguous. It's about, you know, the power of how corrupting human society is on its landscape. And Kitai is really a microcosm of that. It's an ancient evil is corrupting and society is falling apart in Kitai. And it all links to Conan's actions many years ago and will link to the actions of the players and the choices that they make. So it acts as this really great kind of foil to both the storyline and the gameplay progression through the expansion. The Khitan, like the other races in Conan, is a cosmetic change, so it's visual. It's a visual appearance for the player. But they do have their own variation of the Destiny quest. So they have their own seer and a different spin on why the players become immortal through the ancient powers. So for players who've played Conan a lot and want to experience a slightly new story, they'll also have that if they choose to take a Khitan character into Kitai.
So you mentioned the character creation, you've done some changes. What specifically, what can a player do to an existing character in order to tailor him?
In the expansion, players will hopefully be able to, we're aiming to bring a kind of a function where players will be able to change their tattoo and their hairstyle through vendors in the game. So the players will be able to get these new abilities and be able to change their existing markings and hairstyles.
So you can get a Khitan tattoo, for instance, on your existing player?
Yeah, you might be able to get one of the new tattoos that are only available on the tattoo for other characters as well, yeah.
So where are you at right now in development and when can we expect it?
We're in the final phases of our beta testing at the moment, and the game is scheduled to launch during the first half of 2010.
You feel confident that you will deliver what people expect?
Yeah, I think so. I think, you know, we're already in beta testing, and some of the footage you're actually seeing here behind is actually players playing with us on the beta servers too. So we're in a really good place and we're working hard. You know, the last steps are always the hardest. So we're going through those last phases right now, and yeah, we're definitely working towards what I think will be a really great addition to the game.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.